We're going to transform your fixer-upper from gut rehab to your dream home. Did you think about buying or did you buy a fixer-upper? And maybe you're not sure about how much money you should put into it. Maybe you're thinking about selling right now and you don't know how much to put into it if you're selling. Are you worried about mistakes you might make? You don't want to put in too much money. You're not sure if you're going to price yourself out of the market, if you're going to over-improve. And maybe you don't even really know what buyers are looking for right now in this market. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how much you should be putting into your home if it is a fixer-upper. If you're thinking that your home might be a gut rehab, this is the place for you. So let's get into it. Many of you have watched my channel before and you know I have created the Profitable Homeowners Investment Matrix, and this is honestly, I am so excited about it. It is 5 categories of homes that your home should be in or is in somewhere. Now, these 5 categories I have reviewed in another video. I go over all 5 of them. This video is going to be talking to you about the category restoration required. Now, these are what I call fixer-upper. These are the ones that need the gut rehab. Everything is kind of in bad condition. And many of the people who watch my channel might be living in this home thinking, oh my gosh, we're thinking about selling. We need to redo the whole home. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do, what you shouldn't do, and I'm also going to go in depth into a home that was flipped and show you about how much money they spent and what they got out of it. The investment matrix that I have for you guys, do you know, is in my seller's playbook. You can either look at it on the screen here, it might be a little bit difficult, or you can go ahead and download the seller's playbook, either the QR code or the link in the description. You're going to go in there and you're going to circle all of the conditions and the ages of everything in your house, and then you're going to find out which category your home is in. Now, this category, restoration required, honestly, you probably don't need to fill out the investment matrix to know that your home is a gut rehab. You may or may not want the seller's playbook, but maybe if you're thinking your home is not quite a gut rehab, you're probably going to want to download this and go through the whole exercise. So now you're probably asking, what does restoration required really mean? And I consider restoration required to be a home that is in complete need of a gut rehab, both inside the cosmetic and the deferred maintenance, the mechanicals, the HVAC, the roof, the landscaping, cement work, pretty much everything that could be done needs to be done. That is a restoration required. These are the homes that you might walk into and think, oh, look at all of the potential that this house has. But these are also the ones that you really can be risking your money if you do it incorrectly. So you can tell one thing in common with all of these homes are that they are typically dirty. And they're dirty because cleaning is not the main thing that the previous homeowner might have wanted to do. Also, if the house is really dated, you might be thinking that the mechanicals are also dated, because as you live in your home over time, you're doing work, you're cleaning, you're taking care of little things that are broken. In this type of house, when you don't even have it looking good cosmetically, most likely there's a lot beneath the surface that you didn't know about that probably is going to be fixed. So this category is really where you need to be very cautious about how much you're putting into, because you don't want to put your money into the wrong things and then price yourself out of the market when you're trying to sell it, especially if you're thinking about fixing it up and flipping it. So now you really don't need a checklist of things, because I'm going to guess if you're in this category, you already know it. But we're really looking at everything. We're looking at HVAC, we're looking at plumbing, we're looking at electrical, the roof, the kitchen, the bathrooms, the flooring, the decorating. We're looking at everything in this house. And if you walk into this house and you're like, holy cow, everything needs to be touched, then that is probably restoration required. So now in the investment matrix, you're going to see the most important things that really do need to be addressed when you're thinking about working on your home over the course of time. It's hard to say in a restoration required home what is really the most important, because there isn't really anything that's the most important. So now I want to get into it. I'm actually going to show you a house that has been done. It was bought for a lower price and it looks like an investor bought it and then it was flipped. I want to show you how much probably they put into it and what they got out of it. And then you can kind of figure out where you're at and if it's worth it for you. So this home is restoration required. And as you can see, it's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, little ranch. As you can tell, this one needs a lot of work. Now, it doesn't just need work with the way it's decorated. It needs work probably with a lot more than that. And you can tell just because, first of all, the basement, it does have a lot of garbage in there and it's kind of messy. Also, the second thing you can tell is many people who have a restoration required home take bad pictures or hire bad agents because they think that their home is not worth any money, and so they just kind of take bad pictures knowing that they don't want to waste any money on a good agent. That's actually the wrong thing to do. Remember, I talk about you want to fake it, take it, make it. You want to fake it, you're going to fake the house In a restoration hardware, you can't really fake the house, but you still need to take great pictures. So that is key. So if you are restoration required, you do need to make sure that you're having some great pictures still taken, even if the house needs quite a bit of work. And as you look through this, you can kind of see that it's more than just the carpet. It's more than just the wallpaper. It's pretty much every surface in this home does need to be touched. And one thing that this house probably does have going for it is that I'm going to guess that the hardwood is under all of those carpets. So that's really a great thing. So if you are restoration required and you're thinking of selling and you have hardwood under your carpets, you're going to want to make sure you take up those carpets because it's going to shoot better. Even if the hardwood looks really, really bad, you want to make sure that you take up all the carpets. So in a restoration required, I'm really only suggesting that you spend 1 to 3% of the home's value in getting it ready to go to market. And if it's 1 to 3%, this home sold for $305,000. Honestly, that's really not more than about $9,000 that should have been spent getting this home ready. Now, if I was telling the homeowner what to do, I probably would have said, rip up your carpets, clean up the basement, and let's make sure that we get some good pictures so that it can showcase the house in its best light possible. Okay, now let's take a look at the remodeled home. Now, the remodeled home did sell for $500,000 about 10 months after it was purchased. And you can see they redid pretty much everything. They redid windows, they redid AC, they refinished the floors, and they put in new kitchen, new bathroom upstairs, and they added a bathroom in the basement, and they finished the basement. So they did do some quality work in this home as far as, making it look good. So this home had all of its windows replaced. And I do want to talk about that for a minute. Windows are a really, really big deal. If you are in any type of home and you're feeling like your windows really are not in great shape and they probably really do need to be replaced, it can be a real issue for a new home buyer because they are going to have to add that into the cost of their home over the next couple of years. They also include your furnace and your air conditioner and probably your roof. So if you have things that are really, really old and you're thinking you want to spend a little bit of money on it, that might be where you want to put a little bit of money, is to get rid of something that the next homeowners are going to have to do. For example, in this house, paint would have done anything. However, maybe replacing the windows might have helped. Not necessarily. That's why restoration required is only a 1 to 3%. Now, obviously the people who are working on this house wanted to flip it. So they spent quite a bit more money. And I do want to show you about how much they did spend when they actually did sell it. So you're going to see that they did replace lighting. They did some recessed lighting. They did a new kitchen, new backsplash, new countertops. Now the flooring, which they did rip up a lot of the other hardwood and then put this hardwood down, was probably there. Now I do want to show you is that when you are looking at a flipped home, most likely the builder rehabber does not want to do it at the highest quality possible. So you can see that the floors, when they were refinished, probably don't look as good as if you were doing it yourself. So a flipper can put in less money than somebody who wants to live there. And if you think you're going to do something kind of cheap, you're probably going to have to redo it again at some point. In addition, if you're thinking about purchasing one of these homes, you're going to have to understand that they've probably done it extremely cheap. And there might be a lot of things that are hidden, kind of the deferred maintenance, things that you might not know about that they've hidden. They've made the house look good, but maybe not necessarily has it been done up to the highest quality. Now, this house probably goes into my surface shine category at this moment. Again, you can kind of see that in the playbook, and we'll get into that in another video. However, you have to be really careful when you're looking at a home that's been flipped. One thing that they did that I do believe added value to the home is they did do another bathroom in the basement, and they finished the basement. So that really did help the value of this home. But you can see, the things that they put in were probably quite expensive. I've shown you a low and a high end kind of estimates on where these things might fall. If you're living in this house for you're probably going to be on the high end, if not more. And if you're a builder or a rehabber, you're going to want to be on the low end and even less. So you're somewhere in the middle if you're just kind of middle of the road. So basically, I'm believing that the low end, you're $94,000 that you might have spent to update this house. And on the high end, you're maybe $150,000, maybe even more. With a $305,000 purchase price, and probably broker fees, and there are some carry costs. I don't know if this was a mortgage. I'm not sure if it was paid for by cash. So I'm just kind of estimating $7,000 carry costs across the 10 months. I feel like you're all in between $418,000 and $475,000. Now, if you're on the high end and you're trying to flip this, that does not leave you a lot of room. That basically leaves you about $25,000 of profit. Is that worth it if you're thinking about flipping it? So if you are thinking that you're going to redo your restoration required home in order to put it on the market and sell it, that is going to be a risk unless you're doing a very, very low quality fix and flip. Now the low quality, the rehabber builders have the resources. They know how to find cheaper materials. They know how to find cheaper people. So you want to make sure that you know how to do this. If you're trying to DIY it, you really are probably going to risk that you're not going to make the money on the other side. So ultimately you need to think, is this worth potentially a $24,000 return? And what if the market is shifting? How do you know if the market is shifting? That's really, really important. So I know I'm talking to a few different audiences here. I'm talking to people who are thinking about flipping the home, or people who are thinking about selling their homes. I'm also talking to people who are thinking about, buying a home like this, and then what are they going to get out of it? I always believe that a home is a place where you live and enjoy it. It's not always an investment. So unless you are a real rehabber, a real builder, I want you to view this as the place where you're going to raise your family. And so that money means something to you, but not everything always has to be an apples for apples, dollar for dollar return. But if you're thinking you want to do some rehab on it and what you need to prioritize, I want you to go back to that matrix. And I want you to look at the things that I've highlighted as important. And your goal is really to get the house to unpolished potential or modern move-in. And you do that by doing these things over time. So you can use this guide for years and years to come and know exactly what you should be putting your money into. Again, my seller's playbook does have the updates that are most valuable and the ones that are least valuable. This is kind of the game plan for you in your house, whether you're selling now or you're selling 10 years from now. So I want to make sure that you're looking at the most important things to be putting in there. Also, if you are really thinking about doing this and you're ready to move forward and this video hasn't given you enough information, I am begging of you to get an agent who knows your neighborhood into your home, because you are thinking about investing a lot of money in this home and it can be a risk. I mean, to put out $80,000 to $150,000 of cash, how do you know, as somebody who has never done this before, that you should be doing this, that you're going to get your money back out? That's why, if you guys know you need an agent, we have those agents for you. I'm personally vetting these people out, and these are agents who are going to be able to come in honestly with no obligation to talk to you about what your market is doing. Is it going down? Is it going up? How much should you invest and what should you do? I know a lot of you love to hear what I'm saying about your homes, things like that, but there are a lot of great agents out there that can give you what you're looking for. All you got to do is just reach out to us, and we're going to make sure we find you those 3 agents to come in and talk to you about, are you risking your money? Is it worth it for you to replace your furnace or to replace your roof? Because the last thing you want to do is to put the money into the home and then not be able to get it out when you go to sell. And one of the biggest things I can tell you is that if you are in a restoration required home, do not DIY it unless you know exactly what you're doing. People can tell. I showed you that house. The flooring did not look good. It looked kind of dirty. It looked dusty. It didn't look like it was in great shape. And I am sure that that was like builder grade. So if you're doing a DIY and somebody's coming in, they're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to redo this house. Your house could be sitting on the market for many, many years. Now, I've got all this information for you, ongoing. I want to make sure you subscribe because I have other videos about my investment matrix that I want to make sure that you don't miss, especially if your home is in one of the other categories. We have a full playlist for you, and I know, you guys know, we have our Facebook group. I love my Facebook group. I love my people in there. We are rocking in there. You can join and just post your pictures in there. So if you have a restoration required home and you're like, should I do this? Pop it into the Facebook group. No obligation. You're going to get a lot of advice. Some of it's right, some of it's wrong. I don't know. But I will definitely respond to you, tell you what I think about your home. I'm always here for you guys because I want to make you a profitable homeowner.